Under the Illinois Workers' Compensation Act, there are 3 ways to establish Illinois jurisdiction. The first way to establish Illinois jurisdiction is if the injury or the accident occurs within Illinois. The second way to establish Illinois jurisdiction is if the contract for hire between the injured worker and his or her employer occurs within Illinois. And the third and final way to establish Illinois jurisdiction is if the injured worker's employment is principally localized within Illinois. Now, this is important because without Illinois jurisdiction, you will be unable to file a claim and pursue benefits under the Illinois Workers' Compensation Act. You will have to look at other state laws to determine which state has jurisdiction for your claim, and you will have to pursue benefits under that other state. Here at Woodruff, Johnson, and Palermo, we represent a lot of truck drivers. A truck driver is an occupation that commonly finds itself under this jurisdictional analysis. Let's use Andy, the truck driver, as an example. Now, Andy, an Illinois resident, was hired a few years ago by a trucking company. They required him to go to their Iowa office where he completed his drug test, where he underwent some training, and where he signed all of the necessary employment paperwork. After being hired, Andy returned to Illinois, where he picked up his truck and received his first assignment. Now, Andy's employment as a truck driver required him to travel all over the United States. However, each time he was done with his assignment, he returned to Illinois, where he would receive his next assignment and where his truck would undergo any type of maintenance if needed. Now, unfortunately, Andy sustained a very serious injury while driving his truck in Wisconsin. So how do we determine whether or not there's Illinois jurisdiction? We clearly have to look at the third factor because the first 2 factors don't exist. It would likely be determined that his contract of hire occurred in Iowa and that the injury occurred in Wisconsin. Therefore, there isn't a way to establish jurisdiction in Illinois under those 2 factors. So we have to look at whether or not Andy's employment was principally localized within Illinois. Unfortunately, the Illinois Workers' Compensation Act doesn't provide us with a definition of principally localized. So we have to look at how the courts have interpreted this language. The Illinois courts have determined that principally localized means the center from which the employee works. The courts determine that the center from which the employee works is determined on a number of different factors. Some of those factors are: where did the driver receive his assignments? Where did the driver pick up his loads? Where did the driver return to after completing each of his assignments? Whether or not the employer has a terminal or a repair shop within Illinois, and what percentage of the driver's total miles took place within Illinois. Now, clearly this is a very fact-based analysis. If we look back at Andy, the truck driver's situation, I believe that we would be able to show that Illinois jurisdiction exists. Andy always had to return to Illinois to receive his next assignment. Any repairs done on his vehicle were done within Illinois, and most of his job assignments came from the Illinois terminal. Like truck drivers, there are many occupations which are transient in nature that causes problems with respect to the issue of jurisdiction. Therefore, if you find yourself within this predicament and you are unable to determine whether or not there is Illinois jurisdiction, I encourage you to contact Woodruff, Johnson, and Palermo for a free initial consultation so that we can help you determine whether or not there is Illinois jurisdiction.